subcategories section. So in here you can find a subcategory or a niche that you want to focus in on. So say you want to focus on gardening outdoors, and then you want to focus on, say it's summertime, you want to focus on pools, hot tubs and supplies. You want to look at filters, pumps and accessories, and then you want to look at filter cartridges. You can go to the dashboard, then again it'll come up with different tabs here. It's got a good average review rating, good average selling price, and an excellent monthly revenue estimate. Amazon to seller ratio on the revenue share 17 to 83, so just not competing with Amazon that much. A good category to look at. So we delve into the subcategory and then into the brands. So we've got the brands here. Obviously, you can have a look at the market share for each brand, the market share change, the dominant seller country, the average number of sellers, estimated monthly units sold, number of ASINs, etc., etc. Now we're going to change this just to Great Britain. There we go. So now we're going to delve into the products themselves. And say you didn't want to sell a variation, you could change it to no. You want to make sure that it has sellers in there, of course, so we could always put that to a minimum of 1 seller, but we want to make sure that there's a minimum of 3 FBA sellers on the listing. So we're left with this here. We've got some best way products and we've got some in-text products. Now not every product is going to be a winner, of course, but if we're looking at wholesale, my max BSR generally is 20,000, so that just leaves us with the best way and the in-text. Again, we can delve into the details tab. We can have a look at the number of sellers here is 32, and it generates just under 2k worth of monthly revenue estimate. The buy box is reasonably shared between each of these sellers here, and the monthly revenue estimate is, for these top 3 for example, it's relatively high. It gives you an estimate of the price they're selling at, so considering they're winning the buy box quite a bit with a higher price, it gives you a good estimate as to what price you can actually sell your units at. So we can have a look at if there's any traffic sources, which is not. We can have a look at the history of the product in general. For all time, you can go down to 30 days, for example. Sales rank. And then the offers count down here. Seems to be steady, no issues. Now we'll go to details. We'll view the products on Amazon. So 200 bought in the last month. It is, however, a twin pack, so we just need to be bearing that in mind. So it has been selling at this steady £7.39 sort of price. You can see that very well. Now again, we can see that these sellers have been, this seller for example has a lot of reviews, so they're most likely got a lot of capital to invest into their products, as with this one. But this one obviously 30 plus with only 19 reviews, relatively new seller, so they might be able to find that wholesale and then sell it at that price, unless they're losing money drastically. So this would be straight away looking at, because we already know that SmartScout's picked it up as a product that sells plenty. It also generates a lot of income for a lot of revenue, sorry, for sellers. It sells, and we know that it sells well. We know that we could pick it up from, we can try to pick it up from a wholesaler, and this would end up going into our wholesale opportunities list. Again, another example of a product would be, if we go to the Intex one, number of sellers 14, not out of stock, the buy box price is £8.67. Again, reasonably low one, it's worth investigating anyway. So it's a set of two. It is a one pack, but it's a set of two. Amazon's on this listing. Any IP issues? Past year has been okay. Nothing major there. Nothing major there. Nothing major there. Nothing major there. I would say that this is a safe listing to sell on. Has it been selling? It's sold. Estimated sales of 36 a month. How many did SmartScout suggest? It suggested, if we go to products, 65. So Keeper then says 37, so we can sort of take an average of the two, go to the month, and if we really wanted to, we could count the drops. Go ahead if you really would like to. But it's been a very steady sell price of £8.49 from this seller here. So we can just check if FBA have had that buy box at all, which unfortunately they don't seem to have had until it was all the way back here when it was around 926 to 862. So I feel like based on that you could probably just raise the price. This FBA's got the wrong idea. Maybe they may be selling one or two perhaps, with the £10.79 being above the, being so overpriced over the FBM. But alternatively, you could sell for £9.99 to avoid the fee charge as well. You'd also be under Amazon but above the FBM, still increase your chances of selling. And then you just need to source for the £1.99 price from Intex. So that'd be calling up the brand or emailing the brand saying, do you sell this product as wholesale? If so, how much is it, and what you're selling terms and conditions? Furthering that, if they don't, you need to ask them whether they have any authorized distributors and if they can provide those to you. Then last but not least, we've covered the subcategories, the brands, the sellers, the traffic graph, the product. SmartScout has its own built-in sales estimator based off the best sellers rank and what category it is. We've gone over the UPC scanner, and it also shows you top new products in general.